Tasha.
Tasha, a tragedy by Yusef Miller. February 2020, other various times. The steps of City Hall of City States, other various locations. The nation is responding to Randolph Brown being shot by a city officer. The chorus, as the citizens stare out into the night, Big Randy from his sedan. A live stream of police shootings of unarmed black people is running all over the city. A race war is underway. Suddenly, an eclipse passes over. Big Randy and the citizens rally the street.
I see brown bodies being awoken like a city chorus sees omens.
The shadows of the moon, leveling off from east to west, touches down upon city-state, a street. This unforeseen eclipse is a darkening scene, is your forewarning.
Coming upon the sunrise above city.
This shadowing of light is an omen that begins should one more of their bodies be added to our death count.
There will be no allies, no covering our bones, no giving names to our unmarked graves, no stopping their trains.
Should one more body be brought down.
Big Randy exits his car in excitement.
Touchdown! You heard? At the top of the game, an entire team of us took to their knees today. From Osei, can you see, to the home of the brave. All of this happening just when the stadium lights were flickering.
Darkening.
Just when eyes started opening.
Comes this shadow upon city.
I see bodies being awoken like a city chorus sees omens. Prison sentencings revoking. Civil War monuments toppling.
Churches burning.
In Charleston, a congregation of 9 let evil inside, and he blew away their God while looking them in the eyes.
Divisiveness like the trenches.
Like the trenches.
We are forcing them to dig, to demarcate states.
Should one more body be brought down by these trenches, they become graves. We dig for our baby.
Neither side won this election. If one more body falls, there will be no dialogue.
There will be no tolerance.
There will only be resistance.
This eclipse is that premonition.
Gunfire visibly in the distance. Screams from the victims collide. Big Randy gets into his car.
In the blitzing, in the bleeding of city.
Comes a killing. Comes a murder.
Step out of the vehicle or I will remove you.
Randolph Brown, seated in his passenger sedan. His antagonist, a brass shield officer of the law.
A mere reflection in the driver's side mirror.
A window rolled down and away.
A conversation ensued.
A head was thrown back by a fisted attack.
An exordium to a murder rose between Randolph Brown and his assailant.
An officer of the law.
Of the law.
Struck down by Randolph Brown by his fist.
By his fist. Right fist did Randolph Brown strike an officer of the law.
Step out!
Big Randy proceeds to getting out of his sedan.
Big Randy, stay in the car.
Randolph went by Big Randy,
That's what my family called me.
Stay, Big Randy.
a giant. Bronzed in a warrior's humility, crowned in a braided halo of light, a shout among the people, righteous in his threat.
Big Randy stays in the car.
How long? How long must I participate in your image of a threat? How long must I sit and not stand up to this dude? How long must I participate in your self-image of fear? The way you spin is diabolical. I'm 21. Barely a man, might be younger than your youngest. My community called me Big Randy with affection. But here, even in repose, I am your adult threat. I'm that big dude that knows it ain't the slight that's gonna change this night, but a fight might. And a bead of sweat is all you need to draw, all you need to want to take this last breath from me. You want me to see what you see and eat and breathe inferior, menacing, criminal. And I get it. I am in a celestial body tonight. You see me as you fear this big old moon. And one of them, brother, sister, and cousin I got orbiting my shadow is the future, is defiance, is resistance, is tomorrow. And under the shadow here in City State, our new day is being willing to die. A darkening is descending from the sky, and I do not quite get why, but this may be it for one of us.
You were known for running the streets.
Running from the laws, choking us every day.
By what right?
Equal right.
That simple.
Yeah.
His right.
The people's right, so it is.
So it was.
I was in my car. My car, minding the people's streets on this day when told,
Step out of the vehicle, or I will remove you.
Which wasn't his right.
Step out of the vehicle, or I remove you.
my fists, my dark fists ache around the knuckles. I can feel the impact before it is made. I want to banish his face from my space. That simple, that just emphatic.
But instead, he said,
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself. My
Step
name is
out, or I
Randolph
will
Cornelius
remove you.
Brown.
I am giving
My
you a
name
lawful
is
order.
Randolph
Get out of the
Cornelius
car
Brown.
now, or I'm
My
going to
name is
remove you.
Randolph
I'm going to yank
Cornelius
you out
Brown.
of here.
You're gonna yank my big ass out of this car? Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Watchman speaks in his walking.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to. Requesting backup.
Here we go.
Big Randy charges.
His fist be the people's honor, his chest be the people's crest.
a boar's mobility vastly superior, a harbinger of combat.
In the streets came a SWAT team for one. The sirens screamed, the rubber tires onward speeding.
Above the officer's howl, gunfire flew its chamber. Randolph's flesh spewed its blood. For hours he stammered until his veins ran dry, until his body stiffened, and right where he collapsed, so did he crack, so did he fracture into pieces.
The people kneeling, the people breathing, seething, but unshamed by Big Randy's fall. Like warriors, the people surged, shouting,
Warring guard!
Rapid gunfire, chorus scatters. Same night, Natasha and Alia enter an alley, out of breath, hiding.
Alia, have you
I
heard?
have heard.
They're bringing the war to us.
Hold on, Tasha. Let's give the sun a chance to rise on all this.
It can't be any higher. They struck a first cousin of ours, a cousin to a former first family.
Hold on, let's gather what we know.
Big Randy, shot down like a nobody.
Elizabeth knows?
Yes,
Have her petition for his body.
his bloodless corpse is being guarded.
They can't do that. What for?
The state knew Randy was our kin.
I see.
Do you?
They knew because you two were one fire stoking the other.
You still ain't yet considered why there needs to be a fire.
I am no torchbearer, true, but I know what they do to brown men, Tasha.
What are you getting at, Alia?
Precaution, how many times have I told you?
This is not the time for
Yeah, might have seen this coming, Tasha, the both of you.
Not the time, Alia, or the tone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just...
No, I'm sorry, sister.
Let me, sister. I'll petition for our cousin's body.
How?
With dignity and calm.
We will get his body without begging.
I didn't say anything about begging.
Look, sister, I propose something else.
Something else.
Something else.
Please tell me you have not unfolded this something else to nobody.
I have not.
Not even to your wife?
I have not.
Then come, let's find Elizabeth. We three will ceremoniously cry for Randy.
Elizabeth is on maternity rest.
With Elizabeth by our side.
So you use your unborn niece as a shield.
That is not what I intended, but if we get Elizabeth...
She is resting, Alia. This is on us. Our blood.
Let's away from these shadows without bodies. But why do we tarry?
Alia, I wish to take up our parents' intended actions in justice seeking. Let it revisit the children aided by the people.
We can cross whatever bridge we need to cross when the people are once again ready.
They are ready, Alia. You should have seen them. Those rows with Randy, even now as we hide, unreported, quiet as they have kept it. Others lost their lives, mothers
Daddy and Mama.
murdered.
Daddy and Mama must be rolling in their graves.
Now comes, from the highest office of authority, from the presidency of Abigail Walker Waters.
Newly elected.
She has weighed in on Randy. Abigail, the president, and my mother-in-law, Daddy and Mama. How alliances have shifted during this eclipse since Randy's fall. Abigail reveals her true nature, ensuing and enforcing an executive order.
An order?
An order she plans to publicly outline on this stage.
What is this order of hers?
What does it have to do with Randy?
No one shall bury Randy. No one shall cry for Randy. Randy's death must not be discussed in schools. Most hell damning Randy's body must remain, must lie in the streets, the gunshot wounds visible.
This is ruse.
It is not, sister.
This is too declarative.
Sister, I tell you.
No, I tell you,
I
you
tell
are
you.
rousing a rumor.
Elizabeth told me.
She shared this with you? And which side is she on?
Mine. Ours, always.
An executive order is going to regulate my tears, my right to grieve.
Oh, here. Oh, now here Abigail's penalty for burying Randy.
Daddy and Mama, I can't. I can't.
You should hear her penalty because I will be subject to it. Because I do plan to break her law.
You plan to do what?
Bury our cousin.
Bury Randy when you just said, what is Abigail's penalty?
A public hanging.
Oh.
So your life for Randy's corpse? Tasha, death is done. But you're here and I just don't get it. But be you mad?
Be mad with me, sister.
I'm getting there, sister.
Mad and resolved to bury our cousin then.
The scope of the
thought
thought
you
you
conjure
conjure
is
is
low.
low.
While we live, they kill anyway.
We are not burying bodies and being hanged for doing so. We will pray to Randy, begging him to forgive us for what we cannot undo.
Then to his grave. Let us go. Oh, I do feel it is Randy who makes this demand of me.
Tasha, sister, you are grieving. Grieve modestly.
Grieve modestly. Pray privately, cry publicly, talk quietly. This is how you go on day in and day out. I go to bury Randy by myself.
Wait. Will you not weigh my feelings on this? I am afraid.
Then go weep. But be prepared when what I go to do is done. They will know you knew and they will come for you.
I do not care.
You will need to be prepared, Alia.
Don't show me your anger.
What if it's all I got?
You are lost.
Go away, Alia.
I didn't.
I am lost, possessed.
That's Tasha.
But I know the time has found me.
You are selfish. What I meant to say, to not choose to live with the suffering. We all do. They did. I do.
Natasha turns to leave.
Stay away from Randy's body, Natasha Brown, or I will do something else.
Natasha turns to Alia. Alia nods. Natasha comes to her. They hold one another. Alia and Natasha split away as the chorus infiltrates their world.
Under the shadow, shouts of war turn to screams, echoing
Echoing
up and out like an arrow.
Randolph then fell like some effigy.
The street struck dumb underneath him. Others ran, storming in rage no less than his.
Shocked by the blatant murder.
Then fell their battle tears.
7 sirens yielded their tires upon this city's streets.
Voices pitched their anger in a chanted eulogy. Lay drawn the battle line, but none so quick to rush it.
For now,
Standing face to face, two matchless and enraged sides, mirroring the days of a brown king facing murdering dogs.
city-state, goddamn!
From the double doors of City Hall, President Abigail Waters steps out.
I refresh your love of this republic with the news of how the seal of the presidency has safely been returned.
Abigail Walker Waters!
46th President
Of our free world.
The presidency, a later in life inauguration, nevertheless offered, nevertheless accepted. I disempowered the Brown vote, waging the redistricting wars. I campaigned on refunding what Presidents Marcia and Orpheus Brown had defunded. I sided with the courts in making felonies of the Brown masses. All this and more. This war of supremacy you had me resurrect to gain the nomination I, as president, usurp. I will not share my office, my republic. My agenda for my republic is plain and simple. My authority rules. Now, to why I am here specifically, regarding the People's Street verdict of the murder of one Randolph Brown. Last night, I instructed the medical examiner's office to return Brown's body back to Canfield Drive, and so they have. By my authority, I render the verdict of no indictment for the local officer involved. As I speak, my first cabinet appointee, my Attorney General, is enforcing my law.
What about the negligence of this officer?
What about the negligence of their community?
This officer was in duty, in title, in service to the state.
In service to the community.
The lawless actions some, like Randolph Brown, are committing are spilling out of their communities, impacting the law-abiding and the law-enforcing. It is my authority that will best hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable or hold them criminal?
Being criminal is as much a choice as being law-abiding.
My republic, upon which I stand,
One nation,
under God,
indivisible.
asserts the right of authority. The right of authority must be given a symbol. This symbol must be unequivocal. Brown's unburied body shall be the symbol.
Is death by this officer, against whom there are no charges, not simple enough?
Why unburied?
Like the decedent's body, this, my law, will be in the open, as will the punishment be, in the open. Anyone who opposes my law in action, you will hang right here at City Hall, in the open.
In all but a few words.
It is but little to keep the peace. Stand by my authority. It will not be bullied by the blackness in others.
Enter Attorney General bothered.
Who is this that approaches you?
My Attorney General.
I'm not bothered. Eh? I'm not even much bothered. Though I probably look bothered. And if I do look bothered, it's not because I'm guilty of being bothered. And yet, in my way here, I was considering the thing that bothers me. This thing that bothers me stands to be trouble. Stands to be my trouble. I thought this on the way here, but said to myself, hey, self, if Miss President hears the troubling news from anyone other than her Attorney General, imagine how bothered Miss President would be. This troubling news will indeed bother Miss President if heard from any other source other than from my mouth. So, solid contemplation has prevailed, at least I hope, and here I've come, back from Canfield Drive to reveal a bothering event. Now, should you be bothered, know how bothered I've been in having to bother you with events of the news.
Events yet to be spoken. What the hell is it?
I can't say who did this because I don't know. Punish the doer of the deed, forgive the not knowing.
Forgiven. Now, who should I be punishing?
Well, I don't know who. I just said that I didn't know who. I just said it.
Then, what did they do,
Oh.
Attorney General? What?
Oh, it's bad. I don't even know where to begin.
At the beginning!
Okay, keep the calm chorus. This is especially delicate. She and I are not clear on the role I play.
Attorney General, over here.
The slain boy, Randolph Brown, laying there cordoned off like a vandalized Azande statue, not buried under shield, but underneath a mound of dirt. Someone, I don't know, has buried him.
Oh, damn. Ready? Is it not known who did this?
Well, whoever had the gumption is not known. That is correct. I don't know, Miss President. All I know is this. Brown's blood had brown on the ground, around and beneath him. Your edict was looped and still played 24/7 in high definition. The mourners have retracted back inside. The caution tape around the above ground grave was taut and intact. Quiet. Nightfall. No sooner had the guard shift ended and the morning shift began had this burial happened. Randolph Brown no longer laid in defeat. The only thing seen were his feet. The rest of him mounded 3 feet high in dirt. No crucifixion left. No empty bottles of Hennessy configured the way they do when someone, buried. Just the dirt and Randolph Brown's feet. Now I asked the guard to push aside the dirt where his head would be And that is how we identified Randolph Brown fully, but buried. Now, I didn't touch the mound. Had nothing to do with that dirt being on that criminal boy's body. Yes, I ordered the officer to bother with the evidence, only to push aside a small ant bed size of the mound to confirm the face. To know for sure before bothering you, Miss President, I swear, before God, I wouldn't do that. I still don't know who. And when I first told the Homeland Security Chief, we did rock, paper, scissors to choose who would tell you, and he had rock and I had scissors. So here I am, and I know you hate me because you hate the news, but there it is. Please don't hang your Attorney General. I really wouldn't understand a thing about your justice then.
Good from his rambling.
I beg your pardon.
Be the evidence of
God's doing.
God's doing.
Yeah.
God's doing. Is God in the business of defending the corpse of an assaulting, law-breaking man? Did God come down on earth to bury that body himself? God's doing. Downright laziness and justice seeking. I'm calling it. This is man's bribery. I want that guard interrogated.
Bribery?
Am I to suspect some hiding nobody? Bribery is at work. Bribery. The oldest and the most applied weapon in the shed. Bribery. To it goes our judges, goes our elections. Bribery.
Bribery.
This is a matter of confronting the who. Bring the nobody to me. I will question him myself.
As your Attorney General, Miss President, if you move this matter
Bring him is all.
from the criminal division
Bring him.
to the civil rights division.
Or you can hang in his place.
Come again.
You can be strung up like days of old, a sack over your head, with two eyes cut out so that you can watch the approaching torch on horseback preparing to set you ablaze.
Why you go there?
To help you to recall the limitations of your justice seeking. Nobody's asking you to buck history, status, to form task forces and author initiatives to right the role of the justice system under the Republic. You had better learn to shuffle off your civil rights baggage and allegiance to brown people.
Can I just say...
Say!
I can be both. I can do both. My allegiance doesn't have to be pitted against your justice. We can coexist.
Then move justice in that direction.
And as I move further in the direction she wants to, justice shuffles.
Him, recess appointed.
My gratitude.
He had no confirmation on the Senate floor.
Must I add debt to my gratitude?
I'll say, recess appointing you to have you deal with your own,
Deal?
giving you a seat at the table.
Big table.
You're blustering, as if it was your ass you sold to bribery.
Bribery.
Is it? Should your ass be on the line?
You got me way down here.
What's way down here?
You wrong how you see me, is what I'm saying.
Go and come back with the man that bribed you.
Come back with the man that bribed me. If that was so, why would I? No, never mind. Look, I will come back with a man that will confess to be the one who buried Randolph Brown's body. But then, after that, no. Miss President, no. This is an Attorney General's nightmare. Look, I'll do just what you say, then come back here, like you say, then you have to let me leave again. You don't render me another duty of justice because I'm in serious conflict.
Bring me the man.
Right away, Ms. President.
And unbury the body.
Tomorrow man wanders back and forth along the radiant, iridescent trail in the clouds.
He is the dove soaring to and from its wooded departure. Time after time, squinting down into the looking glass sea as the phoenix empires over us all.
So came the flood.
Came the fire.
Comes the criminalizing.
Comes the shootings. The moral man labors under the resurrecting genocides, endeavoring to affirm life and the right to live.
The
bodies I have to walk over.
Attorney General mopes off.
Oh, winged souls! Longing to be the moral man, longing to be his chartering words he uses to constitution the equality of human life.
Oh, winged angels, the moral man is being deployed by empires, set on chartering words to constitution their conquest.
Take no claim of the moral man.
By the floods, by the fires, by the bodies, he is broken, homeless, orphaned.
Never surrender your spirit for that of the moral man.
Keep your wings.
Keep them.
Inside City Hall, re-enters Attorney General leading Natasha. Entering simultaneously is Elizabeth Mary Waters Brown, expecting mother of her and Natasha's unborn.
Where are Ms. President and her reach-in-law?
How acquainted are you that you would yank and lead Natasha Brown by the arm? Turn her loose!
Look! See? The dirt under her nails from a wheelbarrow? The dirt she did scoop to bury the body of Randolph Brown. Here is your lawbreaker. She has already been found guilty. She returned in daylight, tried spreading more dirt over the decedent's body. Decedent's body. Ask her. She'll tell you. Nothing to hide. Guilty she is, confessed in tongue, caught in sight.
Take Natasha Brown away.
Ms. President, Natasha Brown is the one who buried Randolph Brown's body. We stopped her for trying to dump a barrel more of dirt.
Madam President.
Bring me the man that did this.
She did do this. After you had threatened me to find the lawbreaker, we returned to Canfield Drive. We sat a ways away from the body, no sleeping. The entire unit camped around covertly, and for a while, not a thing. Then, the thing happened that stunned our eyes.
In a separate silhouette, Amazing Grace and Lost Youth appear.
And what is the nature of this part of the world?
Natasha is burying Randy frantically.
A reluctant moon is coasting across the golden sunrise. Its beam lights the might of a triumphant woman, kneeling over a murdered body with a wheelbarrow of dirt overturned at her heels. Laments, one after another, struggle from her mouth. She speaks brokenly to the corpse and the red beam sun before cursing the murderer's hand. She pulls herself together and gets to work, cupping dirt from barrel to body, like a mother bird rebuilding its nest.
I see. I see.
So we are here? Amazing Grace.
Yes, lost youth. Take me round a bit till the prophecies set in.
The separate silhouette of Amazing Grace and Lost Youth dissolves.
Even when sacked to the ground, Natasha fought to continue burying the body. Finally contained, Natasha delivers an alarm.
It was a eulogy.
Go record if her name is being echoed in the streets.
But bring back no one gripped in your obedience.
Obedience? Look, see? I mean to devote myself to making lawfully literate her supremacist degree of law enforcing for the people. They will need to know what side they're gonna be on at any given time. Red alert, people! I'm writing all this down just the way she plans to handle us. And I'm gonna find a way to acquire the department, though she usurps justice. Obedience.
Attorney General eases back and away.
The people representing Natasha Brown do.
I require no
If I
counselor
were
at this
you.
time.
Elizabeth obliges and so exits.
Answer this, and only what I ask. Did you know there was a law that said that you could not bury that body? Answer me, girl.
I am not a girl.
The state will accept that Natasha Brown, prior to me delivering my law upon this stage, had not known my law, and therefore...
I knew about your ungodly law.
Regrettable.
Your law butchers my cousin's soul.
Natasha, who promised to be your ally in exchange for you breaking my law?
I broke it alone. Final rights is God's law.
Natasha, a public hanging right here is the sentence for breaking this law.
Every soul shall taste death.
Martyrdom.
No, but with heavy heart I stand up to death.
Death leaves none standing.
My inheritor's claim is my death.
Why claim it willingly?
Which of you could live my life with all the hatred, claiming the lives of those with your name? I had to do this, leaving my cousin's dead body unburied and his rights ungiven would have haunted me past death. You look at me with deep scorn, Abigail. Believe your punishment to be my fate. Well, my fate will convict you and that office.
Not without a fight will Natasha be punished. Natasha stands upon invisible shoulders and speaks familiar.
Natasha, I know how you and your wife sighed, but let me ask you, Natasha, why would you do this? For your parents' sake?
You do not speak about my parents.
It was their hearts that broke first at having been betrayed by so many. Then their hope broke at having been impeached, politically lynched in plain view. Now, here you come. You, who are nobody's leader, with your head on the line for something as small as this. You tell me how you should avoid this hanging, Natasha Brown.
You either hang me for my deed or you do not. I will not appeal to you.
So you will not? So you will hang. So will any remaining Brown, starting with your sister. Go find me Alia Brown. You will both die for this. Arrest Alia Brown. Both are charged. Bring Alia Brown here. Hold her.
Chorus holds Natasha to Waters. Waters slaps her. Chorus lets go, appalled by Waters' actions.
Find me Alia Brown.
What do you gain by killing Alia?
Did you not mean to break my law?
Abigail, a hanging right here, right now is your punishment.
There is such scorn welled up in women who break the commands of other women.
Let it happen now.
If my republic stands to be challenged, let it be challenged by some man.
Punish me alone. Please do not bring Alia into this.
But a woman? You did this. Alia Brown. I will ask again to be assuaged by your answer, not your tears. Did you not mean to break my law?
Every man is due his final rights upon death.
A law-breaking criminal is a law-breaking criminal unto death.
What is a criminal when subjected to criminal laws?
Alia Brown!
My actions righted an unjust law, confronted its abuse and authority.
Heavenly Father, Alia comes.
Enter Alia, handled by Chorus.
Tears swelling bagged eyes pouring out at the sight of her sister.
Held back from meeting, Natasha and Alia reach out, clinging to air, screaming.
Alia Brown. Burying the boy was an act aimed at my presidency. The deed to be carried out openly by your sister while you plotted stealthily. Confess it so, or lie about it, but I will know the difference. Speak.
I confess it.
No!
I did this too.
No, you did not, Alia. This is a lie.
I buried our cousin.
She knew nothing.
Not true.
You played no part in this.
When you asked me to help you, initially I flinched, but I was right here.
Your confession is not sisterly.
And to die without you is?
Hush now, Alia. You are too late.
It's never too late to seek justice for the righteous sake.
She is just reciting what she heard me say.
What? And I mean, my courage is current.
Please.
Give me the same punishment.
Say you had no part in this, Alia. I mean it. Pronounce it right now. Save yourself. Many are called, but few are chosen.
Publicly declare me, so I am soft, fearful, unchosen? Were I to live and you die, you think the people will respect me? Mourn with me? Or is this your punishment for me to live without you?
My sweet sister. Turn to your life. Renew your purpose. Let me to my death.
Not me to my death. You should you to yours. We go out together.
You are both clinging to death like death is thicker than blood. Clearly, there is only one who is guilty and should pay the price of death.
Madam President, what she did runs in my blood. But mercy. Ask Natasha. Ask for mercy. Mercy, I ask for both of us.
Take Alia. Let her loose in city.
Mercy, Abigail, mercy.
Take Natasha. She'll await her hanging.
Chorus takes Natasha and Alia off in separate directions. They fight to connect. Screams, cries.
Dread follows along the path to damnation. It is companion wrath, shaking its fist, cursing at the soul. This is what it's like to wait on death.
I have experienced this sentencing myself, abbreviated by a bullet, the crime of name, the crime of blood, the crime of flesh.
Injustice has taken the youngest Brown by the throat and threads it through the eye of a noose.
All this over a barrel of dirt.
Man's wrath is more frightening than God's.
Man extends death from misery to misery.
Upon his throne, God sits with his arms crossed, signaling death by a nod upon his shoulder.
With no prescription of death for themselves, ailing man infects and diseases. He delivers choleric leaders.
He acquires God's wrath by propping up his system to extend his life. In name, in blood, in privilege.
Mercy shall be the last hymn of his republic.
Inside City Hall, re-enter Elizabeth Mary Waters Brown. Chorus huddles, escorts her.
Beg her to pardon your wife, Elizabeth.
Fight. You and Natasha's alliance is about the fight.
For equality. Take up your spouse's grief. Beg!
And Natasha's unborn your primary argument.
Guilt your mother. She plans to make a bastard of her grandchild. Step lightly, Elizabeth. She stood against Tasha.
My mother is civil.
You come back to support your mother or your wife?
This Lisbeth is your daughter. I am shaped by my mother's sound judgment, as is the nation. My appeal is to your reasonable nature. This is my tone.
Very. And I appeal to your loyalty.
I sat with Dad in the Lincoln bedroom. He's not aware I'm expecting. Neither know you made president.
Comprehension.
I let him have his bourbon to settle the agitation.
The old boy had a political era all to himself. Now it's locked up in his forgetting mind. A goddamned price. There's always a goddamn price.
It is hard for you, being out front.
Not after you've succeeded. We defeated the old boys and wrestled away this dick of a job.
The Waters women.
The Waters women. Here we are, Lisbeth.
Tasha? Tasha, Mom.
This is not personal.
Are you sure?
The Waters defended publicly the civil union between you and Natasha, mainly because of the court ruling.
Mainly.
We also wanted to honor your love. But initially, the Waters had sought to build a political alliance between the first daughter and you, not a marriage.
We fell in love, Mama.
So you did, Lisbeth. It is just that Natasha is no longer a first daughter. The Brown presidents died while fleeing the country.
Killed.
We do not know that.
Open an investigation.
One thing at a time. There's no future alliance here, Lisbeth. Your marriage needed to be dissolved.
For the civil union of their love, they fought in court.
And they won.
That right.
That's love.
That's the signature achievement in their alliance.
Now, Natasha aims her fight at me,
Ugh.
your mother, the presidency. She broke my first law. She buried her criminal relative and gave a protester's speech. Then spat at me.
Oh.
Spat! At me, your mother, the presidency. I'll tell you what, hear me out. Dissolve the marriage.
That's not going to happen.
Dissolve the marriage in place of Tasha's hanging.
Tasha lives by this choice divorce.
Tasha lives to fight another day.
Natasha is grassroots. She's not a strategist. She has no political ties other than you. And she's on the wrong side. This is the age of radical authority. Sides are going to get messy. I want you on the right side of history.
Side
with your mother.
Tasha lives and dies my wife.
If we may.
All I can tell you then, Lisbeth, is when you are widowed, release no statements.
Your grandchild is Natasha's.
Neither use my grandchild to vilify my punishment.
I will not need to.
I stand by my grandbaby.
A water's brown, which makes us family.
I stand by my grandbaby.
You're hanging her mama.
A criminal mother. I can't help that's in the blood, but I can and will sever the ties.
Tasha is no criminal to the people. The people applaud Tasha. Her act of bravery. The dignified manner of her bravery.
To do the deed in open, like some lark singing midday.
She buried a relative, and in doing so, swore that never again will the blood of her blood dry up shamefully on this country's soil. The people respect that and have reasoned your act of punishment unreasonable and shameful.
This is the talk.
Whispered.
Echoed, challenged. But hear me, mother. Mama, yield not to the anger of watching your law fall. There is more reason, sensible reason in Tasha's breaking. Forgive the tone of her actions, righteous and zealous, and giving no fear to consequences, though you think she should fear you. Take you out of this. Let your law stand alone. Re-examine the consequences and the impact of its punishment. Let not your law's punishment punish or ruin you.
In earnest, will you define this act of Natasha's as something other than what my laws say it is? Something other than a crime?
The people would.
Are the people my daughter? I'm asking you, Lisbeth.
Natasha awaits, head in noose.
Lightly.
Breaking your law should not be perceived as a hit upon a crown.
See how you side?
And you, siding with authority which is neither person nor God.
Authority is my right. And so is justice, Elizabeth Mary Waters.
By what authority does any of us have a right to take a life?
Here comes the discourse.
By what authority does any of us have a right to take a life?
Let me spare the country from the young guardians of civil disobedience. Natasha dies.
Your reason yields for no other reason, and therefore preys upon the host.
If we may.
One day, you are going to face up to what we're up against. I'm not worried about you.
I don't ever want to go through what you have gone through, know what you know, done what you've done.
One day, the people, these impoverished, leeching, righteous, broken Browns will target you, standing entitled on the front line in their fight for equality. See your spark of ambition and opportunity, and they're going to come for you. Abigail Waters' offspring.
If I may, Madam President, stop her.
She runs from me. That is what Lisbeth does.
To whom shall she run?
To a father crying upon his ailing shoulder.
She draws the breath out of me, too.
Who does Natasha have to run to?
And Alia.
What tears do they even have left?
Think of them as daughters.
Lisbeth.
Daughters.
Damn it!
Take it back, lest you want these to be the days of damning daughters.
How haunting that will be for all mothers.
Surely you don't want...
Turning, is she?
Is she
turning?
Coolidge. For Coolidge. Rumor this. For Coolidge.
Coolidge.
A former president's dying plea
A former president's dying plea.
that I not begin my term with a daughter's hanging.
A bandage upon history laid.
Here is what will happen to Natasha Brown. Take her to the great state that made me senator. There is a section called Siberia, where the brown residents are clothed in despair and lawlessness. That is the place for Natasha. Her captivity will be on her people's dime. Tax the city with a tower apartment in the heart of Siberia's disrepair. No movement in and around the premises. Her meals, a daily ration from the local food pantry. May the generosity of her neighbors keep it adequately stocked. Should she die from some juvenile cousin's errant rage, then she will come to know, but all too late, what we have been up against in all cities all across this nation. So there. So be it. Hereby, my hands are clean of a daughter's blood.
Passing from City Hall, amazing grace and lost youth appear. Chorus enters with Natasha.
I cannot bear nature's witness when tears are so near the bed of my cheeks. This woman led toward her captivity, while all around stand those afraid to weep.
Natasha speaks to the knights.
Forever good night. Good night, for I hear the sun stays hidden over Siberia. Light rays and rise in remembrance of me. I go deathly dark into my dungeon residence.
Pity is a virtue in this country.
But laws are its pulsation. We
We live fearfully beneath the law, above pitying your tears.
Walk. Let us walk you home.
Natasha and Chorus walk. Natasha stops.
Oh, tower of rock, hide me in for all eternity. Let me abide then, oh, let me awaken as a vengeful ghost rising from its blighted tomb. Randy, I pour libations in your remembrance. I would have kissed your wounds with my maddening tongue and exhumed the bullets with my teeth. Raise me, Randy, draw me nearer. See how they dishonor me in dishonoring you. Raise me up, old departed.
Oh, tormented heart.
Take her.
Hear your voice. It is always going to be the voice of my death.
Natasha appeals to Chorus.
See me now as you would. From the same line of freedom fighters, we are all being led to my imprisonment. Let none die after by her charge.
Water beckons to the Chorus to take her off. Chorus grabs her arms.
Never trespass against your beliefs to dignify your enemies, even until death.
Chorus,
Remember.
Chorus handles Natasha.
No! Wait no longer. Awake, freedom fighters, awake, daughters, awake, sons, awake!
Natasha breaks free.
Behave like an exiled woman.
Are we brown sacrificed throughout the entire world?
Chorus seizes her.
Over and over again, are we browns to die so that you can begin over and over again, over and over and over again? An unburied body shames a people, eradicates the person's identity and bolsters the identity of the perpetrator. I buried Randolph Brown Jr. to restore the people's covenant made during my parents' presidency. I buried Randolph Brown to shake off the false claim of the people's curse. I buried Randolph because he was, in action himself, a defender of that covenant. And who dared to speak the names of the other guardians, of this nation's victims? I do. I speak their names.
Natasha is handled by the Chorus.
Speak their names. If only their names. See where it leads you. What it does to your conscience.
Natasha is struck by one of the Chorus members.
Speak their names with me. Gail Brown, Stacy Brown, Vernon Brown, Dolores Ma Brown, Erica Brown, Chadwick Brown, Sinclair Brown,
Anthony Ashford, Dion Lamont Rodriguez, Chris Jackson,
Héctor Álvarez, Miguel Espinal, Ernesto Gamino,
Ronnie DeBose Carter, Jarrell Chatham, Delvin Simmons,
Felix Kumi, Andre Green, Walter Scott,
Jose Ramon Rodriguez, David Felix, William Chapman,
Quintonio LeGrier, Nathaniel Harris Pickett, Miguel Caño,
Ryan Christopher Rodriguez, Joe Vasquez Ortiz, Salvador Ellswood,
Randolph Cornelius Brown.
Chorus and Natasha continue off.
guided by the light of your lost son.
A prophet's visit, amazing grace?
Oh, girl. From the blind to the blind, may you hear.
Being blind, sharpened will my listening be, old girl.
Hail the Honorable President Abigail Caroline Walker Waters.
I accept the call, though my inauguration has come and gone.
No, I was just checking this out.
Tell me. No bourbon needed for this old girl. I can handle it. Tell me.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
Give me the substance of the prophecy.
You?
Open up, eye of night. Oh, blind eye of night.
A vision. A few days ago, Big Randy sits in his car. Watchman approaches the driver's door.
Sir, I'm the neighborhood watchman. I'm approaching you because there's a theft that just occurred, and I'm sorry, but you fit the description. I apologize in advance if you feel insulted, but may I see some identification that says you live around here?
I'm visiting.
That's convenient. Do you have an ID that says that? Okay, where are you coming from? I'll let you have a minute. You well?
I'm tripping. Off you. You ain't got no real job. Man, go on somewhere.
So you're not well, you say?
I'm not. I'm really not. I'm having to listen to you disturb my peace. I saw you following some other brown before doubling back this way, and I crouched down trying to ease out of your sight, but you kept itching around my car, and I said to myself, here we go. Now here we are. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from being all up in my car, all up in my face.
Are you done?
You asked me what was wrong, I told you.
Sure you did.
And now I'm done.
You mind turning down your music?
I'm in my car playing my music. What are you again?
Well, you can step on out now.
What? A fucking neighborhood watchman? Is what you are? You watch, not arrest.
This is a citizen's arrest?
By this same common law rule, I should be invoking my right to arrest you for a breach of peace.
I have reason to believe that you are associated with criminal activity.
Whoa, are you, man?
Step out of the car.
I am staying in my car, sir.
Step out or I will remove you.
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself. My name is
Step out or I will remove you. I am giving you a lawful order. Get out of the car now or I'm going to remove you. I am going to yank you out of there.
Watchman reaches inside the car, grabs Randy. Randy easily displaced.
Okay. You're gonna yank my big ass out of this car. Okay. All right.
Requesting backup.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to. Requesting backup.
Here we go.
Canfield Drive.
Sir, can we get clear? Can we get clear in this?
If you would have just gotten out of the car when I asked you to. Requesting backup.
Sir, you didn't ask me to get out of my car. You told me. You even attempted to pull me out. You don't have the rights that you think belong to you entitled.
Vision ends.
This country is living out a myth to its destruction. Your election as president is the prophecy.
This is a lie.
As a slave to prophecy, I obligatorily offer.
The provincial authority you prophets wield in the government, and you are this careless?
It's prophecy.
Prophecy causes the prophecy to be born. Look what happens to the people when a prophet and his prophecy are announced at the Capitol. They suspect, worry, panic, fear, which causes suspicion, worry, panic, fear.
Prophecy is not divisive.
Destruction. When I'm trying to... No! And besides, I heard otherwise from the same prophet who predicted my presidency.
Well then, from blind to blind with sight, I go.
Chorus places currency at Amazing Grace's feet. Lost Youth starts collecting.
Give it back. All of it.
Lost Youth tries. Chorus turns its back.
She has never worked a day in her life. Spent these centuries pandering provisions like some freethinker.
From blind to blind.
But what if prophecy was a blind woman's inebriation? A blind woman's pursuit to disrupt? to incite anarchy. Amazing Grace has essentially cursed the office of the presidency with destruction. She is henceforth retired from making prophecy.
Prophecy, like destruction, possesses no respect of persons.
And am I to publicly challenge a prophet's words any longer? You are exiled!
Oh, my. These words, you exile, are now certain.
Open up, eye of night. Oh, blind eye of night!
These words, Madam President, the corpse you leave unburied will bury you. Rotting flesh will rot the flesh and bleed a body of your own blood. The brown woman you hide from the sun, the city boy you keep from heaven, the other brown sister you infect with madness, these are your crimes. These words, Madam President, you will beg to suffer, but others actually will. You will want to feel what it is like to take your own life, but others actually will. The misery of these others will condemn you to darkness, buried though you be living. These words, Madam President! These words, you aim at yourself.
Amazing Grace struggles to recover from the prophecy. She is visibly weak. Faintly, the song remains, an echo of Amazing Grace's words.
Amazing Grace has never been weakened by words, but by a prophecy true, and by a prophecy near.
We have witnessed this ourselves.
Lead us out of her reach.
Amazing Grace and lost youth exit. Amazing Grace cowers from the sound. Water and chorus are seized with alarm, for the song remains. Even more, everything water says hereafter in this scene will be echoed.
Gone.
But the
sound of her words.
An echo!
The sound of her words.
They linger.
These words you aim at yourself.
How? Call her back to take up her sound.
A long scream from Elizabeth shoots across the stage. Messenger runs in, shaken.
There was so much blood.
What's that?
Elizabeth has delivered.
Delivered. And baby and mother?
Mother was hemorrhaging.
The prophecy.
Prophecy true.
Prophecy near.
We have witnessed this ourselves.
Quiet! Elizabeth. I need to see Elizabeth.
Waters attempts to leave.
Madam, Elizabeth is dead.
Water staggers. Chorus catches her.
Do you hear?
Do you hear?
Elizabeth is dead? No! No! No!
Yes. These words you aim at yourself.
Explain this.
I cannot.
If these words linger in their
And
sound,
the sound brought death.
How many lives will the echo take?
Are you troubled yet?
Yes!
Then what? Prophecy true.
prophecy near.
Your law's
Wait,
punishment.
Your laws punish.
You undo.
Undo.
Oh, hurry.
And undo.
Water staggers away. She finds her own space to contemplate.
But who am I after I have renounced the course of an entire presidency?
Madam President, move your contemplation inward.
With your course.
These words you aim at yourself.
Then what? What do I do?
Free Natasha, bury the boy.
But they are enemies to the state.
By your decree.
She will seize this opportunity. I'd have to declare martial law for all Browns.
Lay down the rusty sword.
Fire with fire.
Light does not have to be a burning one.
You heard Amazing Grace, the most revered prophet of her order.
Call her back.
Be you with your changing spirit.
There is too much at stake to change. Too much.
Your husband and grandchild are at stake.
Who?
But you.
Could buckle your authority.
Husband.
Grandchild.
How is my grandchild?
She is stable.
She?
She.
Oh, Lisbeth.
She clings to her mother's breast.
I go to her.
The echo of a baby girl screaming.
We will watch over her.
What are you to do?
Summon my Attorney General. He is to come with me. We go to release Natasha. Then tear down her towered prison. I will take her by the hand myself and beg her forgiveness in Union Square before those rioting citizens who seek justice for Brown's murder. Lisbeth. And there will I pardon Natasha's actions, allude to her parents from whom her courage was birthed, and by doing so open and suture all wounds all at once. Together we will go to bury the decedent.
Light, keep lightening her load.
What is there else?
You're
I'm
going.
going.
Be ye resolved.
Waters exits. In Natasha's cell, chorus women, the mothers of Siberia's exile, are performing a bathing ritual on Natasha.
Natasha looks to heaven with innocent eyes, and heaven is but
Move to hate us all. Be merciful, dear love.
Back at City Hall, enter messenger.
Dear citizens, from your full line of pride, let fall the mask you wear. Distinctions have falsely veiled you. They will expire. Bitterness blinded waters, struggling through the many losses. When the servitude of her soul was lost to bitterness, fate could not give a salute to her distinctions and status, but had to collect on what her bitterness owes.
Sounds regrettable.
News of our president has arrived.
What is the news?
She's owing to another death.
Whose?
Natasha Brown, dead.
How did it happen? How? Lay it out!
Alia enters.
Bury the news for now. All your approaches.
My friends, tell me what I am to learn from what is spoken in the streets. I want to speak to Natasha.
If you have a heart.
Alia, I will have you see what I saw.
Comfort, man.
Comfort was not the nature of the viewing, and since this deed and its details are straight told from me, I have no comfort in revealing them. I traveled with Madame President to Siberia in the Great States, to where Natasha laid in the cold Great Tower. Lying so she would be, so we thought. President Waters had once again called her Attorney General.
Interior scene, Tasha's cell, the hereafter. Attorney General wailing about in madness, discovering Natasha dead.
No. Oh. No. Why bring this upon me? Why must I witness your destruction? Justice is enemy of the people! And here you've got me entwined. If I have to see another body, justice is supposed to save lives. Woman! Inside. You go!
Attorney General grabs Waters by the arm.
Go!
Attorney General throws Water into Tasha's cell. Waters is blinded by the starkness of this world. There is an eerie calm. Natasha stands in a long, beautifully flowing, tattered linen scarf. She and Waters stand face to face.
I followed. In the corner of the room, a shaft of torchlight cuts across Natasha, dangling. Natasha's gown, tattered at its hem, from where she had ripped away a piece and fashioned a linen noose, hung, taut, choking her life away.
What is this world I am in?
My tomb.
But
Two seas flowing freely so that they meet together. Between them, this here is a barrier which neither can pass. This is the hereafter.
Her scarf ripples.
There are centuries of progress in my death by your law.
is that why you've hung yourself?
That's why it needed to be done.
You want a prophecy fulfilled?
I want brown people exonerated.
You wanted your wife My daughter dead?
You sacrificed her.
I came to overturn my law.
Your law's punishment needed to rebirth a movement.
I came to beg your mercy.
I might have given it.
Now what?
You have our child.
My granddaughter.
Go home. Be with her.
No, this is wrong. What prophecy regarding my grandchild accompanies your death?
You love enough to ask.
Water cowers.
I beg you, don't take her. Don't. What must I do?
The greatest threat to justice is in the silence of friends.
Just state it plainly.
I've told you the prophecy of my death by your law. Now tell me the prophecy of your presidency.
Natasha retrieves a chair, one for Waters. Waters sits, one for herself. In it she stands.
The prosperity of this nation is affected by the blood brown people are spilling. This nation and brown people have no future together because there is too much blood. My presidency is slave to that prophecy.
Well, one prophecy against the other. The people's liberation versus the people's extermination. You're going to do all that killing.
Prophecy will. You know it will, as well as I.
Start with burying your own. Elizabeth Coolidge?
Confirmed as the death of 43rd President Coolidge Jefferson Waters.
Found on the Lincoln bedroom floor.
Natasha had fastened her scarf onto a beam.
I came to free you, Natasha.
The chair titters.
It is vital that I do.
Natasha places her neck in the noose.
I will have nothing but this prophecy if my granddaughter is taken, then I'm forced to see it through.
The chair titters.
Mercy!
Titter, totter, kick. Goes the life of Natasha Brown.
Waters rushes out of the cell, temporarily blinded. Interior scene, out.
Oh, fate.
Alia runs off.
Soft, Alia.
Natasha Brown took a fatal stand that validates a prophecy, and here we are, pulled into its play. If I were Alia, I would not know how to lament. I would run and hide, cry tears of insanity out of sight.
I fear fate will not yield for Alia.
Or her niece.
I must return to the president.
Exit messenger. 1 week later, from the double doors of City Hall, President Abigail Waters steps out. She carries her grandbaby. She is suited, impenetrable, but falling. Simultaneously, the casket of Elizabeth and Coolidge are brought in from either side of her. Just as prominent in view, Attorney General comes to her side. They are accompanied by a small militia.
I did not want all this. Not for me. Not for my grandbaby. I acted in time when I knew. She did it. She took her own life. Natasha caused me this agony.
You are being baited by fate.
You are bringing the damn curse upon your own.
You think this is over?
When will arrangements be made for Randy's burial? You had better cling to your grandchild. You have not learned your lesson.
Everything is under control. Restored. Renewed. You try sitting with the darkness. And then there's you, my grandchild. Like a light flicker.
Which departs quickly.
Too uneven this fate. It pulls.
Down! Get down!
Everyone does. Enter the messenger, running from danger.
The prophecy this way returns.
Surround my granddaughter. Protect her.
Over here, Alia.
Militia takes aim at Alia. Chorus stops them.
Though she be mad, there are bullets all around her. If you so startle her, the people will make you pay.
Militia crouches. Alia catatonically walks the periphery of the scene, watching. Big Randy, Watchman, and Sedan slide in.
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself. My
Step
name
out,
is
or I
Randolph
will
Cornelius
remove you.
Brown.
I am giving
My
you
name
a
is
lawful
Randolph
order.
Cornelius
Get out of the car
Brown.
now, or I'm
My
going to
name
remove
is
you.
Randolph
I'm going
Cornelius
to
Brown.
yank you out of there.
Okay, you're gonna yank my big ass out of this car. Okay, all right.
Requesting backup.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to. Requesting backup.
Here we go.
Canfield Drive.
Sir, can we get clear? Can we get clear in this?
If you would have just gotten out of the car when I told you to,
Sir, you didn't ask me to get out the car. You told me. You don't have the rights that you think belong to you entitled.
What is happening?
Get out of the car now! Get out of the car now!
For what? For what?
I said get out of the car!
Watchman opens door, attempts to pull Big Randy out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my door!
I'm giving you a lawful order! I'm going to drag you out of there!
So you're threatening to drag me out of my own car?
You are under arrest!
I'm under arrest?
You're resisting arrest!
But I have the right to know why I'm being arrested!
Get out of the car!
Turn that music off!
Big Randy reaches for the volume button. Watchman takes out his gun.
My name is Randolph Cornelius Brown!
will
My name
light
is
you
Randolph
up.
Cornelius Brown! My name is Randolph Cornelius Brown!
Get
My name is Randolph
out
Cornelius
now.
Brown! My name is Randolph Cornelius Brown! My name is...
Big Randy is shot dead.
Another body, madam.
Alia runs to his body. She buries her face into Randy's body. Water buries her face into her granddaughter's body. Militia flanks Waters and grandchild tighter. Sirens, ambulance.
It is too late.
Big Randy dies. Alia resumes her catatonic walk. The militia shifts their focus to the east. They scan the area, they aim.
The shadow of the moon.
The militia shifts their focus to the south. They scan the area, they aim.
Leveling off from east to west.
The militia shifts their focus to the west. They scan the area, they aim.
Touches down upon City, State, Street.
Lights fade. The militia shifts their focus to the north. They scan the area. They aim for a prolonged time.
Tasha, have you heard that we Brown sisters recently lost another cousin not too far from here?
Blackout. End